What's up, everybody? It's Colby Cheese, and I've come back just a little bit early here because my town is suffering from a little bit of a problem. They are all suffering from a case of retardation, and one of the symptoms of retardation is not eating food and starving to death. So currently, my townsfolk apparently think that it's more important to walk long distances while hungry and then just fall over and die rather than to make food. And so what I've done is I've actually started to cancel some of the tasks that I gave them, and most of the villagers, they're having trouble. So if I take a look here at my food, you'll notice that I have no reserves of roast. So what's happening is on my gathering here, or sorry, my butchering, I have no reserves of that either. And pretty much all that happens is they'll actually go and they'll eat raw food, which then makes them sick, only fills them up by 25%. And then as they walk away, they're already hungry again. And then by the time they get back, they just die. So in order to fix this, I'm gonna do a few things. Look, yeah, see, they walk all the way over here to sleep and they die. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete their personal rooms here. You guys no longer have rooms. And part of the reason there is because they just can't walk that far without dying. It's so stupid. So these guys no longer get personal rooms because they're idiots, and idiots don't get to sleep. They just, they're gonna have to sleep on the floor or something, I guess. That's pretty much the way it's gonna happen until I get this food situation handled. So I need them to be able to walk the least amount of space possible so that they don't die off. And I'm gonna go ahead and cancel some of their orders, and I'll have to redo them here in a little bit. So this is frustrating. All right, there we go. So I canceled those orders there, and these guys are literally just stuck in here actually. I think I'm gonna have to like make scaffolds for these guys to get out. And I'll have to undo these scaffolds in a little bit. If everything was working smoothly, eventually the other villagers would let these guys out because they would just place a block on top of them and then it would pop them out. But since the villagers are retarded and they're dying, they just can't be bothered to actually finish their tasks. So this is one of the things you have to be careful about, especially when you are so low on citizens, is you should really only give them one task at a time. Because if you give them more tasks, then they're not going to, and you see that guy, he just ate some raw food, he got sick, now he's gonna have the slow effect, bellyache. He's not gonna be filled up very well. So let's take a look at his, how much food does he have? Let's see, Thomas Tornbully, what a dummy. Thomas Tornbully, let's see if I can find him somewhere in this list. Thomas. So Thomas here is already at 300 turns to eat rather than 2,200. And that is unfortunate because he's going to be hungry again very, very soon. And then he's probably just going to eat some more damn raw meat. And that is not what we want. So we want them to go over here, butcher this meat, take it to the kitchen, and then prepare it. Cook the stuff. Like, cook it, and then make some roast. So as I've canceled all of these orders, it should cause my villagers to stop building stuff and really just focus on the only task remaining, which in this case is make some damn food. All right. And what I want to do is I want to just stockpile a lot of food, make sure everyone is full up on their eating, and then we're going to give them one task at a time. Probably going to go ahead and work on the on planting trees, and then once I'm done with the tree farm, then I'll go ahead and move on to finishing up the floor here, and then I'll finish up the walls. So probably gonna take a little bit of time, and I may even go ahead and add in some personal rooms again. That way I can, oh jeez, another person died of starvation. So yeah, I'm eventually gonna have to add some more personal rooms to get these guys back in here. These poor guys are just so stupid, they die. Oh, sad days. Eventually they'll stop eating raw meat, because they'll have nothing better to do, I guess. Not sure what these guys... Okay, these are my heroes. I guess they're looking for something to do. They've already cleared out the dungeon, and they have nothing better to do. These guys are hauling stone rather than making food. I don't understand where that makes sense. I even have my priorities in check. So there is a priorities panel here. And right now, hauling is the last priority. And making food is the top priority. But for some reason, these guys are so dumb that they got their priorities all out of whack. These guys have no priorities. They have no reason to live right now, apparently. So therefore, they're eating raw meat and suiciding, essentially. That's pretty much what's happening. But eventually, I'll get this stuff settled down. And usually when this happens, it's a problem of having a bottleneck of not enough kitchen tables or not enough butchering stations or something like that. But that is definitely not the case. You'll notice that there are a lot of free spaces here. They're not using all of the fires that I have. They're not using all the butchering stations. They're literally just dying, I guess. But I need to go ahead and create more personal rooms so they at least have somewhere to sleep, or a better place to sleep, I suppose. And eventually these guys will be okay, I think. Eventually. Once they get rid of all this stone here, and they have nothing left to haul, and nothing left to do but make food, then they'll go ahead and stockpile food. And I'll probably, and this is what I usually do, is I'll actually try and stockpile like a crap load of food. So let's see, instead of 30, I'm just gonna set this sucker like 100, man. And we're just gonna have tons and tons of food stockpiled. That way we don't have this problem of hungry citizens that kill themselves. And you know, once everything gets running efficiently again, it'll be good to go. And I don't really know what causes this. Like, you'd think that, I mean, I've got enough production. It's not like I ran out of pigs or cows or chickens or anything like that. I literally just told them to go build some stuff, and it was just too much for them to handle. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, and hopefully once we get this worked out, we'll be back to where we want to go, and we'll start finishing up the buildings and get these temporary zones out of the way. All right. And there we